In this lesson, we are going to talk about the intrinsic and the extrinsic parameters of food that affect the microbial growth. Okay, so you can see there are intrinsic factors like pH, water activity, oxidation reduction potential, nutrient content, and antimicrobial constituents and biological structures over there. As extrinsic factors, you can see temperature of storage, relative humidity, gases in the environment. Okay, so the first factor, there is a hydrogen ion concentrations. So normally when you see the environment, in general yeast and molds are more acid tolerant than bacteria. So normally the molds and yeast, they need, you can see here, nearly from 0 to 10 pH range they can survive, the molds. So normally yeast also the same, nearly same. Some foods, we know that some foods, they have slightly, they are acidic. So, and when you talks about some fermentation process, so some fermentations, they can gain the acidic conditions. Some of the process externally we are adding some acidic. So normally the foods are divided into two categories, like high acidity. The foods contain pH like below 4.6, it is called as high acidity, and the low acidity means low acid foods means the pH of the food contains higher than 4.6. okay, so and you can see there are proportions of total acid undissociated at different pH values are shown here, and these are the different food groups are shown here. And we know that the second most important intrinsic factor is the AW, which means the water activity. The water activity is a measure of the availability of water for biological functions and relates to water present in a food in free form. Okay, so another definition also there, the ratio between the water vapor pressure of the food product and the vapor pressure of a pure water, it is called as water activity. So we bacteria is need more AW than yeast and molds. Gram positive bacteria, they are sensitive to low gram negative bacteria, they are more sensitive to low AW, which means low water activity, than gram positive bacteria. So that's the main thing. And other thing like that, oxidation reduction potential, we know that when the food is gain or lose electrons, that is called as reductions, we know that. So when it exposed to the oxygen or else the air environment, it is having the plus EH. okay, so normally it can EH of the food is determined by many things, like a chemical composition of the food, the poisoning capacity, oxygen tensions, and the atmosphere how it has the access, or else the access that the atmosphere has to the food. okay, nutrient content, we know that there are microbes need water, source of energy, source of nitrogen, vitamins and minerals for their growth. So when it is available, which means that when the food is having that kind of nutrient things, so it will be spoiled by the microorganisms so far. okay, so antimicrobial constituents, which means some foods cannot easily be attacked by microorganisms because of having the or else presence of naturally occurring substances that have antimicrobial activity. For an example, garlic contains allicin. biological structures, it is another kind of a factor, intrinsic factor, which means contains the barrier properties, that is a protection for the food from the microorganisms. Okay, so tomorrow we will start the extrinsic factors.